Aloha! We are Terry and Lopaka, and we are the Holo Holo Travelers. Holo Holo is a Hawaiian term for going for a walk, ride, or paddle. It gives a sense of going out for joy and pleasure, and connotes an easygoing vibe to the outings. Holo Holo captures the essence of our adventures. Most of our travel has been to the Hawaiian Islands. Due to our traditional careers, we have been limited to your typical week-long vacations with an occasional longer one. We were fortunate to take a 3-week family vacation to Europe when Lopaka was in between companies. We visited France and Italy. We also visited Japan, taking advantage of the time our daughter was living and working there. We explored Tokyo, Kyoto, Hiroshima, and of course the small town of Kikuma where she lived. Now that we have retired from our conventional jobs, we are free to enjoy and explore the world together without work dictating the time frame of our adventures.
In 2009, we had the opportunity to take a family trip to Portugal right after our daughter graduated from high school. We used the Rick Steves book and toured Lisbon and took a train out to Sintra where we hiked the trail from the main square out to the Moorish castle. We were enamored with the architecture and wowed by the beautiful views. We took the train from Lisbon to Lagos in the southwest of Portugal, where we enjoyed the seafood, incredible rock formations, and the beaches. We used the bus to get out to Salema Beach, where we enjoyed the warm water and also ate at the Atlantico restaurant, which has since been remodeled. Lagos and the area surrounding the town had left an impression on us. So when COVID travel restrictions were beginning to lift around the world, it seemed like Europe was opening up faster than Asia. And that is when Portugal came up as a possible place for a home base for our future adventures.
We made the decision to seriously pursue our journey to Portugal in November of 2021. So we booked airline tickets to Portugal for February of 2022. Our main goal of this trip was to obtain items we would need for our D7 visa. And these items included something that's referred to as a NIF number, which is a Portuguese tax ID number, and to open a Portuguese bank account.
Unfortunately, if you recall, as we're entering into the new year of 2022, the COVID variant Omicron struck hard, taking out hundreds of airline staff, resulting in the cancellation of hundreds of flights across the country, including our February flight. Well, this set us back big time because due to our work schedules, there'd be no way that we could reschedule a flight until the summer of 2022. And so we rebooked our flights for July. But in the meanwhile, we found a company called Border.io, and for about $550 US, would you say, they helped us get a Portuguese NIF number and a Portuguese bank account. So this went pretty smoothly, maybe a few emails, a couple phone calls, and a Zoom call. But with these things out of the way, it helped us to focus on what I think most people consider to be the most difficult and challenging item on the D7 checklist. And that is to secure a 1-year lease on a place to live. Well, it seemed like forever for July to roll around, but we finally boarded our flights and landed in Lisbon with the hopes of coming back with a 1-year signed lease in hand.
For our November trip, we decided to concentrate on the area of Portugal known as the Algarve. And the reason why we chose it is because of the landscape of the Algarve, the cliffs, the beaches, and those were reminiscent of the area where we lived in California. Those were things that we really enjoyed, being able to take advantage of the ocean, being able to do hikes along the cliffs. And so we thought that would be a good place for us to pursue first. So we came to the Algarve, and things we were looking for while we were here was some of the features like, does the city that we're looking at, does it have access to trailheads that we could get to easily because we like to hike and to run and to walk? And does it have easy access to the beach where we could walk down to the beach on a regular basis so we could enjoy the ocean and we could do ocean swimming, which we enjoy. We wanted to be able to get to conveniences like the supermarket and healthcare services, and those all had to be in a walkable distance. We also wanted a town that had convenient access to public transportation so we could get around town and so that we could take longer journeys when we needed to. We are planning to not obtain a car, for the first year that we were here. Lopaka primarily used the Idealista app in order to start to find and hunt down properties that would be suitable candidates for us. The problem was that most of the rentals in the Algarve were looking for people who wanted to do short terms, and primarily they would rent longer stays if you were not going to stay through the summer, because the summer is the most profitable time for the leases here. So we had quite a bit of trouble finding landlords who are willing to do one-year leases. So on all of the suitable properties, Lopaka found only 3 suitable places for us to look at, and he quickly made appointments for us to view them when we would be here in July.
The first place that I saw as I was looking on the Idealista app, the photos just looked too good to be true. And also when I was looking at Google Maps, location was incredible. It was only a 10-minute walk to Praia de Portugal, which is a swimmable beach, and also to the trailhead, which is part of the Fisherman's Trail, which is part of the overall Rota Vicentina hiking trail of Portugal. It also had a bus stop down at the beach, and from the apartment in the opposite direction, there's another bus stop in front of the school. And all this gave us access to good transportation within the city, and also we're within walking distance of supermarkets, as well as medical facilities, including the Centro de Salud, which is only a 10-minute walk down the street.
The second place was in Portimao and was less expensive than one in Lagos. We did a drive-by of the neighborhood and were immediately turned off by the high-rise density. We couldn't see ourselves living there despite the area meeting some of our must-haves. We ended up calling and canceling an appointment, not to waste anyone's time. The third place was located a 30-minute walk to Praia de Carvalho. However, this was the most expensive, and when we did a drive-by of the neighborhood, we saw that it was right across the street from the bus terminal. We couldn't see ourselves living there either. Needless to say, we canceled that appointment too.
So in the end, there really was only one place that we're going to do a walkthrough on, so we're hoping that it was the place. Terry was unable to come, so I was going to videotape my walkthrough tour so that she could see it too. It was only a 5-minute walk from our Airbnb, and as I approached it, I was going, wow, this place is for real. It really looks too good to be true. I approached from the ravine side of the property, and I could see the pool area, balconies, and it was a really nice property. I was greeted there by the on-site manager. Unfortunately, she spoke English, which was very helpful. And as I took the walking tour through there, videotaping, it had a nice kitchen with new appliances, a little bit of a kitchen island. So it's a bigger kitchen than I had imagined for an apartment. It was 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with an ensuite. There was a balcony facing out to the west, just off the kitchen and the guest bedroom. And then there also was another balcony, a large one, that spanned the living room as well as the master bedroom, and it overlooked the pool area as well as the ravine, giving a lot of open space to the back that made it feel a lot more roomy. It was spacious. It was fairly new within the last 15 years, and it really seemed too good to be true. So the next day we requested paperwork, and by the time we were on our flights back to the US, we had signed a 1-year lease, sending it back to them, and by the time we arrived back in the States, they'd send us back a countersigned copy, and we had sent a deposit, and we're secured on a 1-year place to live.
Now that we had obtained our lease, we continued on with the D7 application process. We'll cover that and our SEF experience in future videos. Until then, até a próxima.
And aloha!